was so sorry. There was no. I was so sorry. Things will be fine. Things will be fine. The sheep will know the crawl. So in this research, the question was, I think it's part of the research. The research question was, what are the evangelism strategies prevalent in this area, according to your view? So they were asking the pastors and the elders. All of them said public evangelism efforts. The place is vibrant with public evangelism. What do you then, on coming to Bible studies, pastors said 35% of the work is Bible studies. Elders said 0. Then later on, are there programs to retain members, to keep them, to nurture them? Pastors are elders 0, pastors 10%. And that was a worry. That was a worry. Because we bring the sheep into the kraal, but we don't prepare the kraal. We don't close the holes of the kraal. And we keep on bringing them. The kraal does not get full. Although members are getting into the kraal, we do not increase the kraal. But sheep get lost in the kraal. I want to make a statement. It's a terrible thing as a pastor, terrible indictment as a pastor, to walk into that church when members are 100, and by the time they transfer you, members are just 35. Either you have eaten the sheep or driven the sheep away, or you did not lead the sheep to the greener pastures. It's a terrible indictment. You are looking for the chairs. There are 2 chairs. It's a terrible indictment. Rather, I appeal to us, brothers, rather maintain the status quo. If there was war and rumors of war in that church, bring peace. If there was peace, don't bring wars and rumors of war. If there was peace, don't stay the dam. Don't stay it so that the fish or the sheep jump out of the kraal. When there are groups in the church, there are corners in the church fighting, don't join the groups. Don't join the groups.
Praise the way, Pastor.
Be a peacemaker. Bring the warring parties together. Sit in front of them and say to them, it hurts me to see my friends fighting. Don't join this side and say, how can you do this to my friend? Now I'm jokingly discussing these issues, but these are real issues.
Yeah.
When you get into the church, rather increase the membership and reclaim those that have disappeared. But don't carry a trophy for losing members in your church.
Yeah.
Don't carry a trophy for losing members in your church. We are called pastors. We need to live up to that title. We are not reverends. Our title is not a position, it's a function. It's a function. It's not a position of power. I'm a pastor. You are a servant. They are not serving you. You are serving them. The sheep benefit from the ministry. You don't benefit. You don't eat the sheep more than you lead them to the greener pastures. You don't slaughter them and eat them, but you nurture them so that they can produce lambs. You know. I just want you to listen. I want you to close here and open here. I don't want you to discuss. It's a devotion. It's a devotion. 11 o'clock service is not challenged. That's the only safe time. Even if you are lying, you won't be challenged. Give you a chance. I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the heart. And I think you can tell the heart of the pastor. They must be happy. They must be happy. When they see you walk in the street, they must say, that's my pastor. That's my pastor. Ever since this man came to this church, man, this church is lovely. He always gives me a reason to come there next week. All the time, whenever I go there, whenever we greet and it's time to go, I know I'm coming back next week. I can't miss that. I can't miss that church. They mustn't say, hey man, I made a mistake of coming to this place. I may have to weigh my options. I may have to check the calendar as to when the pastor is preaching so that I can stay away if I don't leave the church. I just wanted to speak from the heart. I have this burden. I notice some of us, we start well, and after some time, we become politicians in our church. Politicians, we join gangs. You know there are gangs in the conferences. Sometimes we gang against the president. We gang against the gang. We join their gangs. We gang. There is a gang war, fighting over. And it's true. It's true. It happens all the time. Don't join the gangs. You were called alone. You were called alone. You accepted the call alone. Work alone, although you work with others. Don't join a gang. If you have issues with the president, walk into his office and say, hey, Elder, I want to share this with you. This is how I see it. I might be wrong. And if he doesn't want to see it, pray for him, leave him. At that point, whether he's a fool in your own eyes, but at that point, he's the anointed of the Lord. God chose him, not you, at that point. David's model would be relevant to this situation. You remember David, in his thinking, Saul was a fool. In his thinking, even women saw that. They started singing chorus, praising David against Saul. But how does he react, David? He's a fool. I don't know why he's after me, but I'm not going to do anything because he's the anointed of the Lord. Even if he's a fool, at that time, within that 3 years, he's the anointed of the Lord. Stay away from the anointed of the Lord. Don't point fingers at them. What if you point the finger at his God and he comes back and he deals with you? Because you think he's a fool. Probably he is, but at that point, he's the anointed of the Lord. Don't gang against him. Don't plan to assassinate him when he turns. He mustn't have to watch his back because you are behind him. Or because you are part of the gang. I'm talking from experience and I'm talking from the heart. I've seen this, and I've seen the ministry ruined because of that. I've seen churches suffering because pastors are fighting. I've seen churches ruined because pastors are fighting over the positions. I've seen that. Please stay away from that. Don't forget your call. Don't forget your call. I think each one of us has a burning bush experience. Whenever things are tough, go back to the burning bush. Where you were called, the context of your call. Moses was a burning bush. Somewhere, you go to Ezekiel, Isaiah, I saw God sitting on his throne. Everyone has an experience. If you have issues, you go back to that experience where you first accepted the call and talk to the Lord. Yeah. Let's pray. I was not fighting. It was not wars and rumors of war. But I wanted to give you a chance. We talked about the church in Ephesus. So remember we mentioned quite a number of things. I want us to move to other churches. And they were very doctrinally sound. Powerful church. And they were able to sift between those that call themselves apostles when they were not. They were able to challenge the Nicolaitans. And say, you guys are wrong. You seem to get the spirit of Berea. Now the Berean church, they would check the scriptures, check what Paul was saying, and compare it with the scriptures. And on the basis of the scriptures, they would either accept or reject. They had this spiritual discernment. And I want to challenge us as a church. Our churches must never be attacked by heresy when we're there. And our members should have confidence in us that, don't worry, we hear what you have presented. We will ask our pastor to come and help us with this thing. They mustn't say, please, President, come and help us. We and the pastor are in trouble. People have attacked the church. It must be an Ephesus experience. Ephesus experience. We should be seen to be teaching and pastoring and nurturing. Lead issues. Provide leadership on issues. When there is an issue, don't wait for the issue to attack the church. Initiate a discussion and say, I'm not sure if you are aware there is this breaking story within Adventism or outside of Adventism. I want to workshop you on this so that you know the issues. Provide leadership on issues. Don't follow the issues, lead issues. Don't wait for damage to happen and then try to scrape the damage. Lead. Plant the truth. The weed will suffer. So the Ephesus experience. Now I want us to move to the other church, Smyrna. 100 to 313 after Christ. This is what has been accepted by scholars. That it represents a period during that time. What was the church like 100 to 313 AD? Between 100, the first one, it is believed that it depicts the era of the church between AD 31 up to AD 100. That is Ephesus. Some would even go to AD 27, but I think AD 31 would be more accurate and closer to the truth. I think Ranko also would subscribe to AD 31. What was life like in Smyrna in a normal Sabbath? This is what I think about Smyrna. The elder will be making announcements. Hey man, we are sad that during the week, Brother Antipas was killed. And Brother Antipas was murdered. We received those news. Any other item of interest, and a child will stand up and say, my parents were invited to the emperor's place, and they were asked to worship Caesar. And they refused, and they were killed.
Yeah.
I hear that Sister so-and-so was also maimed. We had a funeral of so-and-so during the week.
Oh my God.
And the church would be sitting like this because they don't know whether they are thanking the Lord because they survived the week. They are not sure if they will survive the next coming week.
Sure.
Because it was normal for members to be killed. It was a normal phenomenon. It was not something unusual. To have scars from persecutions, it was normal. Man, I survived. They almost killed me. I told them that I'm not going to bow. I'm not going to attend that meeting. I'm not getting into the temple for fornication. I'm not getting into that. I'm not doing that. I will not eat food offered to idols. I'm not going to do that. I told them, and they stoned me. I said, it's fine. Look. Why didn't we have Sabbath school today? Oh, we forgot to report. We buried We buried Sister so-and-so, the Sabbath school superintendent. So we may have to appoint another one. So appointments within the year were normal because people would be killed. It was normal in Smyrna. The city was extremely rich, and the saints were extremely poor. In fact, the word that has been used there, poverty, it's a Greek word, tochai. I will leave Elder Kuala and to put the accent. I will not worry about that. This is extreme poverty. It's not poverty as in missing a meal because you just want to skip a meal or for health reasons and trying to lose weight. It was poverty because someone is perpetrating that poverty. You have no access to the wealth that you see. You see the wealth, but you have no access. In fact, every year, the citizens of Smyrna, of the city of Smyrna, would go to Caesar and bow to Caesar and worship Caesar and receive a certificate. And that certificate would open opportunities for business, for trading, so that we trade with worship of Caesar was seen as loyalty, civil loyalty. So there was no separation of state and religion. It was one thing. Worship was a form of loyalty. So if they wanted to test your loyalty, they would get you to worship Caesar. So members here were very much poor, because they could not access jobs, they could not buy or sell. Extremely poor in an extremely rich country, a rich city of Smyrna. Extremely poor. And they were persecuted. But Christ speaks to them and he says to them, you guys think you're poor. You are rich. You are rich. This is the only church where you don't find a rebuke from Christ. He doesn't rebuke this church. Say it again. Yeah. What were the issues? What were the issues in the issues were, what were the issues? Issues affecting saints. What were the issues? I think I've mentioned issues of poverty. Not just poverty, but extreme poverty. They dealt with issues of emperor worship. What was interesting about this church? They never dealt with internal problems. They never had internal problems. Because all of them were on the same side. All of them would encourage. In fact, I can just imagine sermons during that in a typical Sabbath. Be faithful unto death, and you will receive the crown of life. Brother, after church, they would hug each other and clasp to each other because it might be the last one. You may not see another hug. You may not hug this sister or this brother again next week. The next hug would be in the New Jerusalem. Sure. So that was a normal. So whenever they would greet, if we see each other, gain courage. If I don't see you, I'll see you there. Make sure that we meet there. Remember the Jews? The Jews, just after the Holocaust, and whenever they would greet each other, if someone would be leaving, they would hug each other because of the sense that it might be the last time. You may not see this person again. They were dealing with issues of suffering. Suffering. In fact, I'm using a mild word. Christ or John mentions tribulation. 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 They were dealing with issues of fear. Very terrified. Very faithful. Fearful, not necessarily faithless, but fearing the fact that it's going to happen. And if you listen to the encouragement, and the encouragement was not saying, I will save you. It was saying, some of you are going to suffer tribulations. Tribulations. Some of you are going to be imprisoned. Some of you are going to be killed. But be faithful. Be faithful. And many times we preach the gospel of saving people. The Lord will intervene. It was not the issue of intervention. Be faithful unto death. And this is the message of Christ. And listen to how he presents himself. He says, when he writes a letter, he says, I'm the one who was dead, but now I'm alive. He's talking to people who are familiar with death. Very familiar with death. When he says I was dead, they understand that because they are dealing with funerals all the time. Either they are anticipating their funeral or they've just buried the sister or the brother. It was just normal to bury a sister and encourage each other. And encourage kids to hold on, hold on, hold on. It will be fine. Hold on. He talks about I'm the first and the last. And the last. I was dead, but now I'm alive. And even the promise, listen to the promise, even the promise, if you hold on, you will be given the crown, the Stephanos crown of life. Of life. Because you were changed. You went through tribulation. Imprisonment was not in that city, and saints would be taken at random. People would be saying, hey man, what can we do? Let's see if there is a saint that is walking the street. Come here. Worship Caesar. And they know exactly that the saint would not worship Caesar. And that would be a reason to kill, to torture, or to maim a person. In addition to that, our cousins were there also. Our cousins were there. You remember Christianity it's actually an offshoot of Judaism. Christianity owes its existence and its birth on Judaism, Jewish faith. People who started this faith were actually Jews. In fact, I'm not sure what Pauline scholars, if they have resolved this issue, because last time I heard they were discussing whether Paul left Judaism or he combined the two, or yeah. So they're still saying, they're still scratching their head. It's fine, I'll check if they've resolved that issue. But our cousins were also, and John calls them, they call themselves the Jews, but actually they are the synagogue of Satan. They're a synagogue of Satan. So there is promise that the issues are issues of poverty, and even with issues of imprisonment. Of interest is this issue of imprisonment, because they even mentioned, the message says, some of you are going to be imprisoned. You will suffer tribulations in the near future. And they even put time limit to it, 10 days, a shorter time. So that there were issues that they were going through tribulation, and there were near future tribulations. So the present was a menace. The future was horrific at the same time. And I want to suggest to you that these are the stories that are going to be repeated in the future. In the near future. These are the stories that are going to be repeated in the near future. We want to read this. Think of it, the church is despondent and they receive this letter. And this letter confirms their experience. Some of you, and some of the contents of the letter are very much predictive. You think things are worse. Things are bad. They're going to get worse in the near future. You have lost Antipas. And they were fearful because the leadership, the reason why the disciples were scattered, and some even felt that Christianity had been destroyed, it's because the leader was crucified. Once you kill the leader, you have a way of destroying the movement. So Christianity, that's why in the book of Acts, whenever, listen to their sermons, the content of their sermons, they dwell on resurrection. He is alive, he resurrected. He resurrected. The leader is resurrected. In other words, the movement is still alive. The movement. So the death of Antipas shook the saints. That's where I went.
I just wanted to know how are we looking at this through this time frame of from 100 to 313 AD. Are we looking specifically like at one specific time in Smyrna specifically, or do we look at it deeply the whole time?
Good question. The experience of Smyrna represents the experience of the church. The experience of this city represents the experience of that era too, and also gives the indication of what will take place in future. In future, in the sense of the experience, not the era. Right at the end of time, we're going to experience Smyrna experience. I don't know if it makes sense. We will not be experiencing the era, but the experience. The era would be limited between 100 and 313 AD. But what happened? What happened in Smyrna? What happened in Smyrna, in the city of Smyrna? Points to what happened during with those 3 centuries.
Okay.
And in general, it offers encouragement to people who are going to. Will there be persecutions in future?
Yes.
I think so. The book of Revelation gives us that impression. That, in fact, the apocalyptic passages of Matthew chapter 24 indicate that during the end of time, there's going to be severe persecution. And we're also told that it needed to be cut short. It needed to be shorter. It needed to be shorter so that... Yeah. So we get that impression. We read Revelation chapter 12, where after 1798, the dragon will wage war against the remnant, who's keeping the commandments and the faith of Jesus Christ. And this, we believe, is still in future. Still in future. So we have the local setting, we have the era that was, because during this era, the church experienced a severe persecution. And this era is parallel to the red horse. To the red horse. To the red horse. And the color red is the color of persecution and blood. Persecution. This era is parallel to the era of... And the white horse is parallel to 31 to 100, where you talk about the glories of the gospel, where the faith was in its formative stage, and the church was strong, and there was evangelism. It's parallel to that age, but we'll see it when we deal with the sales. Crown of life and crown of life, and that they will not be had by second death. They will not be had by second death. The encouragement is fitting. Yes, they are killing you at the moment, but this is just the first death. Just the first death. You will not be affected by the second death. In other words, Christ was simply saying, you're just sleeping. It's just a sleep. Just don't worry. Don't worry, man. The message was not that issues will be fine. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Be strong. And there is also the appeal by the Spirit. The crown of life. Crown of life. It's not diadema, but it is Stephanos. Stephanos, the crown of victory. But you know, during that time, people would be given the what do you call those things? Whenever, I mean, during the theaters or
Moral. A wreath or a moral.
okay, but this time they will be given life, and it's not just life, but life eternal. And I think as we near the end of time, we need to go back to the letters. We need to go back to the letters. Any other?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
The 10 days, is there any significance to that?
There's an allusion. There's an allusion to the Old Testament. There's an allusion to the Old Testament, and also to Daniel chapter 1 about the 10 days. Give us 10 days. Give us a short period. Now, whether this is a prophetic or literal period, it appears that a shortness is intended, whether it is prophetic or literal. And I want to believe it's more prophetic time. But if it's 10 days, then it's 10 years. It's still a short time. It's still a short time because the events take place within this era, and within this era, that prophecy was fulfilled. This is a long period of time. So I want to believe that this points to it's a prophetic time, but in the near future. The near future, and you get that. You get also in Genesis. I think it's chapter 18. You remember when Abraham negotiated with God? What if 50 people, 40 people, 80 people, 20? What if 10? And God closed the arguments, the bargaining. He said, no, let's close this matter at 10. And someone, one theologian mentioned something that once he gives an allusion of once you count and you finish fingers, you can't move any further. That's the end of the story. And he alludes that within the context of Genesis verse 18. If you are discussing with God, you are negotiating for the life of the person. At some point, you need to stop. You can't go beyond the fingers. That is his understanding. But it's an allusion to a shorter period. An allusion to a shorter period. And I want to believe it refers to a prophetic time. Given the nature of the book, the genre of the book, it's a prophetic book. But we're not told exactly what happened. You know, we don't get details but it was in the future of Smyrna. Of course, it's in our past. But it was in the near future of Smyrna. Happy? Okay. It's fine. And you don't get this is the only church where you don't find a rebuke. Christ does not rebuke them. So that we get the impression that this church, which was 45 kilometers north of Ephesus, remember the way they were structured? They were structured in this fashion. There was this coast, and you had Ephesus, you had Smyrna, and somewhere there you had Pergamum. And this side you had Thyatira. And just across this Ephesus, you had Sardis. Then a little bit further you had Philadelphia. Then the route would change a little bit. In fact, this way, somewhere here and somewhere there. So this is Ephesus, this is Smyrna, this is Pergamum, this is Thyatira, This is Sardis, this is Philadelphia, and our beloved Laodicea church. And somewhere there you had those that are not mentioned. Hierapolis, there was Hierapolis somewhere there. And they were working very closely with this church. In fact, these guys would get some water from these guys. They had hot springs. And they made a furrow, a tunnel of water. By the time the water got to Laodicea, it was lukewarm. So the guys would drink and vomit. So it was commonplace to vomit in the streets because everyone drank lukewarm water. So when God said to them, I will spew you out of my mouth, it makes sense because everyone vomits.
The book says that this period was characterized by departure from the simplicity of the gospel.
Which period now?
This one of Smyrna. The time of Smyrna.
It was characterized by the departure.
By the departure from the simplicity of the gospel.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But then do we have an accompanying rebuke? That's the thing.
There's no rebuke.
There's no rebuke. He might be meaning something else. Because we don't get from the text, we don't get this. Any departure is corrected by this.
Okay.
Any compliance is characterized by encouragement and commendation. Commendation. And there is a strong commendation in this church. Standing, perseverance. I know of your perseverance. Perseverance. Don't worry about mine. I know of your patience. I know of your patience. But also, I know of your fear. Your fear. And the encouragement. The encouragement says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm not sure why. He must be pointing a finger somewhere, but I don't think Smyrna. Good point. Let me see if I left out anything there. And the Spirit, he who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes will not be hurt at all by the second death. What an encouragement. People are dying and you say, don't worry, it's just this death. It's not that death. It's not about, I will protect you like I protected Daniel and his friends. But I will resurrect you. I will resurrect you. Are we ready to move? I want to encourage you that let's not only preach from Laodicea, let's also preach from Smyrna. And encourage saints that are going through a tribulation. And many times we preach sermons, the sermons of prosperity. God will bless you, God will... And we're telling the truth. We're telling the truth when we say that. God will bless you. What if God has other plans? Rather than blessings. Remember Pastor Papu preached last week. Beautiful sermon, powerful sermon, where Abraham is a rich man, but God says, I will make you a blessing. And he asked a question. He was a wealthy man. Why blessings? He even made a joke. Hey man, try next door. The fellow next door is a little bit poor. But then he reads a verse where God says, I will be your shield.
And exceeding great reward.
And I will be your exceedingly great reward. He does not say, I will give you. I will be your reward. Powerful. Sometimes we want gifts when he's a gift himself. I think let's move on to the next church, which is a little bit tricky church. popular church, popular city, Pergamum, a little bit further from Smyrna. And there are some debates. There are some debates as to were these 7 letters, or was it 1 letter to 7 churches, or was it 7 letters? Everyone received their own letter, or Ephesus read their letter and got to hear what the message for Smyrna is, and got to hear about the other messages and the rebukes, and got to hear the chances are, just like when you read the book of Acts, after reading this letter, send it to another place. Chances are letters would circulate. 1, 2, letters would be copied. You remember there were scrolls. The elders during because letters would be read. They were intended for public. They were intended for worship. So it was not uncommon for the elder to stand in front and read the letter. And that would set a tone for worship and also encourage. Now, you think of the church of Smyrna after going through that rough time, and they read the letter from John. Powerful letter. So, and the Laodiceans did not suffer persecutions. Their own problem, they were extremely rich. And they never had. But then they got to hear that, hey, our brothers here are suffering. They got to hear that, hey, our brothers there are compromising. Some are good, some are bad. Hey, our brothers somewhere there are extremely good. They're doing well. Man, yeah, what happened to your love? What happened to your love? We get the message that whenever we do things, we need to combine love plus doctrines. We need to combine the two, love plus doctrines. Doctrines void of love, it's a cruel truth. Cruel truth. Love void of doctrines, it's just joy. We are just happy, but we'll end in hell because we're not corrected by doctrine. Yeah. So both extremes are dangerous. Both extremes are dangerous. Let's start the other one tomorrow when we come back. Let's see if we can touch two of them. And I'm not